it's Karen and the Lake Stamper here in Michigan. How's everyone doing today? It's a nice sunny weekend, and I thought we would do some one-sheet wonders again. So I started with a one-sheet wonder, just stamping our All Things Fabulous, okay? And kind of getting some ideas of how it would look, all right? Just literally just doing my one-sheet wonder idea. Now, what we want to do first is we're going to cut up some paper down, all right? On the long side, because it's 8.5 by 11, take your 11-inch and cut that down to 8 7/8, and then cut the shorter side at 7 3/4, okay? You've got your slim card already. We will score it in a little bit. But first things first, you know, a lot of you have the swatches. And with these swatches, it's a great idea to find out what is a complementary color for some of these in colors, okay? So for instance, I'm going to use Magenta Madness today for a flower, but I want a complementary color, so I'm thinking I'm going to use the Mango Melody, all right? So I've got those already set up. Now for Bumblebee, there's an array of different colors as well. I'm going to use Poppy Parade, and you'll see what happens when I use the complementary colors that go with our new in colors. All right, these swatches are great. They have everybody in their complementary colors. So when you do a color and you think it doesn't look that great, check these out on and they go, okay, that's why it doesn't look that good. It's not even on a complementary color list. The other one is Misty Moonlight. We definitely want to try Daffodil Delight and or Night of Navy. So I have two of those ready if we want to use those. And you'll see where I'm using the secondary color, okay? So first things first, let's look at the All Things Fabulous stamp. Now, there's like a million little guys on this. Okay, not a million, but it feels like it. And they have little tiny writings of where everybody goes with what. And they're very, 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 very tiny. So what I did is I took the time and I put what goes with what, okay, so I could see it. So for instance, this is flower A. This is the complementary to go with flower A. So it's 1A, 1B, 1C. And for instance, this one's 2A, 2B, and 2C, and so on and so forth, okay? Except for the leaves, they're all by their lonesome, and of course the sentiments. So when you start using this and you have this as your map, it really is helpful because it's so tiny. Once you start using these two, you'll know who goes with what, and that's what I'm doing. So first things first, we're going to do two flowers. We're going to do 1A and we're going to do 2A, all right? These little guys right here. So I have the 1A. This is going to go for my Bumblebee color. And I have my little guy. Where did he go? Oh, he's right here. 1A right here. So let's start with our Magenta Madness for this little guy right here, okay? So I'm going to get some paper underneath just for giggles here. All right. Aren't these great to use though? I mean, they're so nice. They really help you to not have to think too much. Just get the colors that you need out of your ink drawers and start going, okay, that's what I need to use. So I'm going to first use, before I use Mango, I'm going to use my Magenta. And I'm going to do a second generation. A couple of them might be full, but overall. Now, if you do get a little ink on this while you're doing this, because it could happen, remember you can ink right over it and nobody will know. Just saying. All right, so that's going to be my first. That's my second. I'm just going to randomly put these, you know, wherever. They don't have to be next to each other. And you'll see that I'm stamping off that first and I'm putting my second. I really want the mango to shine, so that's why I am making sure they're just a little bit lighter. You can definitely put some of the darker ones in there if you like. And because it does stamp faster when you do that. And then, you know, have a darker one. And then have a lighter one. Okay. And let's put a little bit more ink on that one. There we go. Now we're done with this one. Okay. We're going to go to the Mango Melody next. Okay. Now that's going to be the inside of the flower. All right. And here we go. My little flower. And just to double check. All right. Making sure who's who. So this little guy is 2B, all right? So we know we don't want to use him, but this one is 1B, all right? And a good idea is once you get this all mapped out, you can put all your little stamps right on there, and then you go, oh, okay, I want to use that one. And you don't have to think about it because you can't see those little letters. They're so tiny. So, okay, so this one goes with my flower. So let's get Mango Melody. See how it looks with our little complementary color swatch, okay? All right. How fun. All right, so now on the darker ones, oh, see, a little bit of color on that. You could have used Coastal Cabana or So Saffron or Calypso. You know, you don't have to use this one. I just thought it would be kind of pretty. I still need something to lighten that up a little bit. And this is a good idea. You can also use Magenta Madness as a darker if you want to use a couple of those. So maybe we'll do that. And keep a couple yellow and keep a couple of pinks. All right. Very pretty. Love it. It looks really like a rose. And that complements so nicely. Don't you think? So I'm going to still use magenta. I'm just going to wipe off the bumblebee. I'm sorry, the mango. And okay. Let's use first generation magenta on the lighter ones. That's really pretty too. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh gosh, I just love this. I love me. Okay, there we go. Isn't that lovely? It gives you two variations of the flower with two different colors. And that looks pretty cool. So let's move on to the other flower. Okay, and we've got flower 2. Pretty cool. We're going to get flower 2. Here we go. That's flower 2. And it's a little bit bigger flower, which is pretty cool to look at. I know, right? Okay. Now, where can we put Bumblebee? Now, Bumblebee matches with Poppy Parade. Okay, so this is pretty cool. I was thinking of using Blackberry, but it was too dark. I didn't want a darker inside, so I could do either or. You could do this first and then this secondary, or this one first, which is what I'm thinking of doing, and Poppy Parade second. So this is the second flower with Bumblebee. All right. And I actually like this at full strength. It just looks a little bit neater. What do you think? to do at home. If you don't happen to have this stamp set, you may have some flower stamp set that you can use in your arsenal. I'm sure you do. All right. So you can take one that might have a couple of layers of the flowering and do the same thing to make a slimline card. Okay. So don't feel frustrated that you don't have all things fab. It's a fun one to play with, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have it. Okay. Just saying. Now I intersperse this a little bit more because I have another flower I want to use. Oh, that's so pretty. What do you think? Let's have it go off the envelope or the card itself. That looks okay. I'm gonna stop. That looks too good. All right. Lovely. Now let's do the complementary color, which I think is going to be terrific. Again, we're doing 2A, so we definitely want to do 2B. So I'm going to put 1B back, and we're going to do this one. I just love using my little map. It makes it so much easier. I took a minute or two to get everything organized, but once I did, I was like, oh, this is nice. I love this. All right, so let's get our complementary colors out for Bumblebee. Here's our Bumblebee colors. Here's the Poppy Parade that accents and complements Bumblebee. And it's a vibrant color anyway. It's one of my faves, is Poppy Parade. So again, in the middle, I would use it at full strength. Doesn't that look gorge? Look at that. That looks amazing. Okay. I mean, we're rocking this one today. Can you see the difference when you do one that is complementary to the ink that we're using, and maybe one that is not complementary? You know, this is amazing. So here was Bumblebee. I tried to use cider, cinnamon cider with it, and see how that turned out. It didn't turn out as good, did it? Right? So this color, because it complements it, is lovely. You know, we're on a roll. So these little swatches, and if you don't have one, you can purchase it on my blog, but these are great to use. I've got them all. I usually have them all laminated for everybody. They're all ready to rock and roll. They've got colors on the other side. They are amazing. They really do help for you to look at what is complementary, what can we use so it doesn't look ridiculous. I could have even used Flirty Flamingo. That would have been pretty too, right? So I think those are hot. Oh, let's do one more. Look at that. One more. Oh, this is so pretty. Oh, I'm going to have to keep this card too. Lovely. Okay. That is totally a different card. It looks amazing. You could stop right there and be done and just add some leaves and call it a day. Okay? If you only want to do those two. I do want to do Misty Moonlight. Okay, this is the second flower we're doing. And we're going to complement it. We can either complement it with Daffodil Delight or Night of Navy. So we'll just see how this comes out. And this is going to be darker, so we definitely want to do probably second generation. So let's get Misty going here. Okay, so now we've moved Bumblebee. We're done with Bumblebee. We're going to do Moonlight. Misty Moonlight. Moonlight Misty, or what does it say? Moonlight. Yeah, it doesn't have it all on there. I could have, yeah, it is Misty Moonlight. That's funny. Okay, so here we go. I'm just gonna, okay, so that's pretty. We could maybe do the yellow. So let's do a little bit of a lighter blue here. Nice. I'm liking the second generation after all. I'm gonna just look at that. Again, on the darker inks, definitely do the second generation because you want that yellow or the Night of Navy, whatever one we use, to really show in this flower. That's my little personal assessment here. Just enough to kind of sprinkle a little bit of other color of this blue, you know, wherever you see fit. It really is, you know, whatever rocks for you. I do want to get maybe a darker one over here. Yeah, especially if you see some ink that might have gotten off from a different stamp when you were stamping. That's okay, just cover it up with a different flower. Isn't that gorgeous? Now listen, right over here, you don't have to get everything. You can if you want, but that can be open, because if you look at the way I did that, just to kind of give you an idea of an opening, you might want to put a sentiment there, okay? So it doesn't have to be all covered. I think that looks pretty good. I was thinking of doing maybe one right here. And even your sample will start looking really cool. You could cut this down and use this for something else, you know? I mean, you're just on a roll here. I think one more. Let's just do... Okay. I love it. I just love it. Okay. Now let's close Misty so we don't get it confused with Night of Navy, if that's the one you want to use. Now we've got two. We've got Daffodil Delight or Night of Navy. Okay, we can try both. I'm going to try Daffodil Delight first. And again, I'm going to use 2B. All right? So that's the second part of this little guy. Or if you want to jump and just use 2C, you could do that. You could just do 2C and this go. I just want to put it right smack in the middle. That'll work too. Just thought of that. I know. Okay, so this one's ready. It's really fun to compliment and see what colors go with what. I mean, it's all about, you know, design and, you know, this is your own designer paper now. This is really cool. So this is Daffodil Delight. Make sure I've got the right color. I'm going to put it in the blues, all right? See if we like it. That's really pretty. I think I'll do a couple, and then I'll do some Night of Navy. It gives it a different color, which is lovely. Nothing wrong with that. Let's do one over here. Okay, nice. And let's just do one over here, and then let's do the darker ones. I sometimes like the outline of the darker color like we did with magenta, Madness here. We did the lighter second generation, but we did the first generation of a secondary stamp, and that came out pretty cool. All right, we're gonna have a test later, see if you know. Okay, so now we tried a little bit of the daffodil, but I think I'm gonna like the blueberry. I'm sorry, the Night of Navy. I'm thinking blueberries. I had those for breakfast. Oh, okay. So this is a dark color, so definitely you want to practice first. You can actually practice on one that you've already done, and it might be too dark. So I think it might be too dark. So let's go back to, see, you've just got to play, even though it's a complementary color, which is great, I don't want the blues to be so heavy. So I think what I'm going to do, even though I love the Night of Navy as a complementary color, let's go back to Misty Moonlight. All right, so this is Misty Moonlight. And I do like a darker with the light. I mean, it just, yeah, I like that. As much as I love Night of Navy, which I love, I also like doing a lighter version and a darker version of this Misty Moonlight. Okay. It's got a little bit of dark. That's cool. That's fine. That's enough. We don't need a lot. So we're done because you don't want to overpower with this blue. We are now going into the next stage, which is, oh my gosh, it's our leaves. These leaves right here, they don't have any number. I was going to use just jade, and I still will, but I think I might also complement, because there is some yellow here, and the bumblebee loves shaded spruce and old olive. So I'm going to also get some of the shaded spruce. Sometimes what I like to do is I like to put both stamps right on, and I don't have to worry about, you know, doing it a million times. So I've got this one by itself. I think this will be the darker, and then this will be our just jade. So make sure I've got it open. I've got shaded spruce and I've got my just jade. So I'm going to move these little guys over here. And just jade does go with shaded spruce very nicely. Okay, so it's nice to have this card as well opened up to see what looks good with it. Now we'll do some cinnamon cider in just a second, and that will be the stems. Okay, so let's get this started. And before I do that, let's do a practice run. Okay, so it can go first generation. Okay, and super. That looks great. It's okay if it runs into the flowers. That's not a problem. I just want to do a couple more over here. I just really want the leaves to be on the outskirts. And it really adds a lot of color, doesn't it? Ooh, like that. Love it. You can put it in with more. And then if you have, you know, an area that you want to actually put another flower on top of the leaf, you can do that. Okay. I've got a little baby flower that we can still use. So not the end of the world if you've got some leftovers here and I could put a flower on top of that. Okay. So I'm digging that. I could have used one right here, but I don't want to get it on the flower. And let's do one right here. Okay, okay, super. That looks great. Now we're not done because we're going to go to the next grouping. Okay, now I'm going to use Mango Melody. I'm sorry, Poppy Parade. And we're going to make little tiny flowers. They're going to be so cute. But first, we're going to, I'm going to show you on the map which one we're using. All right, we're going to do this grouping. It's 6A and 6B. All right, so 6A has some little tiny leaves, little tiny ones. We can do it in shaded spruce. Oh yeah, look, so pretty. And we're just going to put little tiny flowers just wherever. We're just going to put these wherever. Yeah, I think these are going to look really cute with the and if you don't want to use this, you don't have to, you know? Okay. Let's do it in Poppy. Make sure it's right side. Look at that. Really adds some color. Much needed little tiny flowers that are, you know, just interspersed in the card. Look at that. So pretty. Look at that. I'm loving it. There we go. And then let's do one right there. I think we're all done. Look at that. I'm doing this upside down so you can see it. Look at that. Didn't even have to, you know, aim. Just kind of, you know, aim at where you think the little berries would go. And they came out so pretty. Adds a lot of texture in this card, you know. It really does. I think I'll do like one more right over here where I saw that I put my leaf by itself, you know. I think the leaf needs a little berry. All right. Amazing. Now this little guy, you'll see he's all by his lonesome, this little misty moonlight. So let's do just one more leaf. Let's see if that's right. Yeah. Right here. And then right here. All right. And then let's do see how it's going off the page, but that's cool. No problem. And then right here. These little stamps always make the whole card sometimes. That is amazing. We're going to take the last flower, which is 3A, all right? I'm not going to do 3B. I'm just going to intersperse this again with my Mango Melody. Just so it's a little bit in there, you know. Just for a different flower arrangement, okay? And that's right. We have our beautiful one sheet wonder. Didn't that come out great? Look at all the colors. And using the complementary colors for our in colors, this really works using these swatches here. So I am now ready to score this so we can make a slimline. So get your scoring tool or your trimmer, whatever one you have, and you want to score this at 3 7/8. All right, so 3 7/8 right there. Super. Make sure you've got the scoring tool and not the cutting tool. And we're going to just line it up just a little bit there, and we're gonna give it a nice little bend. And let's get our bone folder. Okay, see, look at that, nice. Now we're gonna just burnish this, okay? Oh, this is beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Looks like a wedding card. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. You could have a tall, or you could have a regular size here, okay? I'm going to do the horizontal side. I think this will be just lovely. Now I've already gotten a few things ready. Okay, so I used the Stitch So Sweetly, and I've got the sentiment already ready here. And it's absolutely beautiful by itself. It doesn't even really, you could just put a sentiment inside and that would be it. But I have die cut, using my die cuts here that go with our little flowers, okay? And I already have these kind of ready, okay? I already die cut and stamped a barrage of really pretty flowers, and what I want to do is I want to frame the saying, okay? So what I usually do first is I glue these all together. It makes it so much easier when you're trying to put the sentiment of where you'd like it, you know. We have to make sure it doesn't go over because it's going to be in an envelope that we're going to make. And then we're going to put this, oh my gosh. Oh, we're done. Look at that. So, oh, I'm in love. So I'm just going to put this to the side just a little bit, like right here, okay? And I think I don't want this popped up just because I'm going to pop up these guys. And I usually pop up everything. You know me. I pop up. Yes. But I think I'm not going to do that this time. I know. It's hard to believe. I'm just going to have it right to the side here. I don't want it in the middle. I want it off to the side. Super. Now, you'll see that I put this group together and I put this group together, okay? So I kind of just want to have this one here, this flower grouping here, and I want to have this flower grouping right about here, okay? So just so you can get an eyeball of where I'm at right now. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so let's get some dimensionals on my flowers, okay? So we'll get this going and I'll be right back. Okay, now I've got the dimensionals on and I've got this nice and glued down and I'm just gonna pop this up, but I want it to be curved, okay? So I'm just gonna give it an idea where I'd like to have it first, and then this grouping is gonna be on this side, all right? Gosh, I like the way this came out. This came out so pretty. That's it right there. And then we're just gonna add that little leaf just to make sure it stays. Super. It's sticking to me, that's even better. Okay. And see how I did it so I could connect it if I wanted to, but I decided, nah, we don't need to connect it. All right, so now let's just place this right about here. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Okay, we're done. All right, I moved my little leaves up just a tad so it wouldn't cover the sentiment. Oh, look at that. Look at that card. That's beautiful. Now it needs some jewelry, don't you think? I think so. I think it needs some beautiful jewelry here. I'm looking at the gold glitter enamel dots. I just want to I want to sprinkle these, you know, wherever we can, and maybe put some of the bigger ones in the middle of the flower, especially the bumblebee color. Nice. You could also use the artistry blooms. I mean, these are really pretty too. You know, it's got all the colors because we're using everything. Or you could use your in colors. So there's all different variations here. Let's just double check and see what this might look like on our pink. And sometimes when you've got this different rows here, I really don't want one in the middle, but this one with the bumblebee, I do. So I am going to stay with the gold instead, yeah. Can you believe how gorgeous this is? I mean, this is absolutely gorgeous. And not only the front of this beautiful card, but look at the back. I mean, that's stunning. So I hope you enjoyed this today. I mean, I had such a great time making my own designer paper. Look at that. Into a lovely card that I'm going to share with somebody for, I don't know who, but they're going to get this beautiful card. So anyway, I hope you have a great week and a great weekend and a great day today. And we'll chat soon, all right? You take care. Bye-bye.